Yeah, I'm doing a live. What's going on, y'all? I want to talk about this New York Knicks Detroit Pistons. Looks like we got another budding rivalry with the New York Knicks. It was the Pacers, which was already a rivalry. But if you look at Cade Cunningham and his performances against the New York Knicks this season, especially without Duran and Isaiah Stewart on the floor, he wanted to show they could beat the Knicks, whether they're healthy or not. Didn't want to let them get one regular season win. And you could see, like, last year in the playoffs, they definitely presented some matchup problems. And that team got to grow a little bit more during this offseason. Got to grow a little bit more. And here we go. JB had a good game last night. Cade Cunningham. Uh, Pistons, I believe they have the best record in the NBA now. I did want to look at something that Kendrick Perkins said to Brunson on the podcast where he says you may have to sacrifice a little more to get, where you want or get the Knicks over that hump. Because coming into the season, a lot of people thought it was the Knicks to lose. The Eastern Conference was the Knicks was going to win the East, period. And that's just what it was. They thought the Knicks was in prime position to win the East, and they came out kind of sluggish this year. And Cat has been a constant disappointment this year. Uh, I think as far as physical play, you look at the way the Pistons play, he was, bothered by Paul Reed without the two main bigs playing. And that's a bit of a cause for concern. You look at, the OG contract, you look at what they gave up for Mikal Bridges, you start to question some of those things. So I want to know, like, I need all my Pistons and Knicks fans in this comment section right now. We're going to talk about it right now. We're going to talk about it right now because I want to know, do you guys believe the Knicks have a Pistons problem right now? You think they can get over that hump? You think the Pistons just got their number right now? Because I think they still match up pretty good with some of the teams. If you look at, uh, a team like Cleveland, they probably still match up good with them. It's just the size of those guards, man. Cade Cunningham specifically, it can see over the defense. You're going to assign OG and Mikal to him, but when you got Tobias Harris making shots out the corner, and that's the thing that I feel like they can change in the postseason. I feel like they can be a little more disciplined on the defensive end. Um, you're gonna have to play Mitchell Robinson with Cat. I don't think Cat can start at the five ever. They can't go away from that. I don't care how bad Mitchell Robinson shoots free throws. You cannot go away from him starting at the center. Cat is the four. Cat is the four. He can't play five. He just can't. He had the Timberwolves play their best when Cat was at the four. He cannot play the five. He can't be your five and your team do well defensively. So I think, Mitch is gonna have to start. He's gonna have to start in that type of series. I want to know what all the Pistons and Knicks fans like how they feel about where their team's at right now. I think the Pistons could struggle with, the new addition of James Harden to Cleveland. That does make them tougher, having Harden and Donovan. Now you got two guys I feel comfortable with, and two guys in the backcourt that can beat you. James Harden gives you a bit more size as well than Darius Garland, and he can play with the ball in his hand, a little bit. And so I expect what's my man's name? The Afro. Expect him to get a lot of easy opportunities at the rim, alley oops. I expect it to be a little easier for Mobley. And Cleveland is a sneaky one. You gotta watch them. Even though they started off a little bad this year, I think they have an opportunity to do something really special, in the East this year. What y'all think? Pistons fans, what y'all think? I'm gonna play what Kendrick Perkins said, for the Knicks fans, because I want to know do you guys agree with this? Let's check it out.
Do you understand the moment?
Yeah,
No, I'm saying, do you really understand the moment
absolutely,
that you're in right now?
absolutely.
What position you in right now?
Myself or
And
my
I'm gonna
team.
tell you how I feel. Yeah, you.
I feel like we have a great opportunity.
I ain't say we. I said you.
I feel like my team has a great
understand the
opportunity
moment?
because that's what
No,
all
I'm
it is.
saying, do you
Everything that
really
I've talked
understand the
about,
moment?
right, regarding
That you're
me,
in right
has
now.
been team centric. So like, yes, I have an
What
opportunity to
position
help
you in
lead
right
my
now?
team. So
Okay.
like, I don't,
And I'm gonna
I
tell
don't
you
care
how
about the
I feel.
individual stuff at all. Like, I truly don't.
Well, I do. I feel like you already a top three Nick of all time. Bro, you one championship away from being the greatest Nick of all time, hands down. Like, do you know how special that shit is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I know you do. So my thing is, I never doubt you when you step onto the floor. It's a make or miss league. But I do know that you the leader of that locker room, right? And I do know that it take a team to get the shit done. So if that means that if you got to sacrifice in order to make another motherfucker lock in all the way to get where you trying to go and get the team ultimate goal, then you got to capitalize on that.
Right. Appreciate that. That's real talk.
What's real?
That's real
What's
talk.
real?
Right.
That is real talk.
Hey,
Hey, for sure, for sure. This was.
Yeah, man. So that's what Big Perk had to say. Y'all feel like JB got to sacrifice a few things on the offensive end? I know Cat's impact comes offensively. When he's knocking down threes, he's spreading the court. That's where you get the best version of Cat. And you might get a little more defensive effort and a little bit more effort on the glass. I just feel like that has to be anchored by Mitchell Robinson. And if these two teams were to face in the postseason, you have to play them together. Mitchell Robinson is his Rudy Gobert, so to speak, as far as taking the responsibility of being a presence away from Cat. Cat struggles with being a defensive presence, and really deterring the defenses. So again, I like him as a stretch four, but I don't like for him to settle. I do like offensively when he's down in the low block and he's working inside out instead of just settling for threes early, because he has the propensity to commit silly fouls. That's one of the things with Cat. It's probably one of the most frustrating things you'll see too. He missed a deep three and foul guard in the backcourt, and he'll have two fouls before the 6 minute mark in the first quarter, and you just scratching your head. Throws the rest of the game off. So um, Knicks, Pistons fans, I need you in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about your team right now. Do you like where you're at? I do like the addition of Jose Alvarado to the New York Knicks because I think he does bring some energy, change of pace for them. But it seems like Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, the team that they're hunting the most is the New York Knicks. And I want them to keep that intensity for every other team that they may face in the postseason. Because, yeah, it's nice to beat the Knicks, but the focus they've shown throughout the regular season, if they continue with that, sky's the limit for them this year. And honestly, who wouldn't want to see SGA versus Cade, in the finals? But I do think the Knicks, this is their opportunity, man. If this unit, this current iteration of the Knicks was going to have an opportunity to win a championship or go to an NBA Finals, it would be this year, I feel like. What y'all say to that? Y'all think the Knicks still have like a window, or you feel like part of it was last season and this season? I feel like last season losing to the Pacers, that took some of their window away, and I feel like this year, if they can't capitalize off of that this year, they're going to be kicking themselves, and they're going to have to make some moves. I know the Knicks package for Giannis becomes better this offseason, is what the experts saying they can get another team involved. Giannis obviously wants to play in New York. So I think you will have to swing for that after this year. And do you retain Mike Brown? Are my Knicks fans happy with Mike Brown as the head coach? I want to know. Y'all happy with Mike Brown? Because he is playing a bench, right? That's something that Thibs wasn't doing. But he's not having the regular seasons that Thibs was having, as well. So that I'm just looking at it, man. It's a hard thing to figure out with these Knicks, in my opinion. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section, guys. I'm gonna check some basketball out. I'm gonna be back because I do want to talk about Darren Peterson a little bit too. Bill Self is getting upset with him, so I'll be back.